Hey everybody, it's Robot here, scooterwest.com, Vespa Motorsport. Here today we got a Sprint, and there's a lot of people don't really like the little meeper. Want a little bit louder horn. A lot of people ask, oh, can you put the little air horn? That's a popular option on some of the larger scooters. Problem with the Sprint and the Primavera is inside the glove box is a little too small for that. But second best, there's an electric horn that you could put in just as easily. You know, pretty simple install. One thing you got to keep in mind with this scooter is the electrical system can't really handle the extra power, and I'm going to show how to wire in the extra wiring you need to do in a relay to power this horn. The parts and tools you'll need are pretty much laid out right here. You have our specialized horn wire kit that's specific for the Primavera and Sprint. Includes a relay and all the crimped on connections. Pretty inexpensive, saves you the hassle of trying to build this yourself. Part number on that is horn-wire kit-PR. And you'll need the 136 decibel horn. Part number of that is horn-136. 8mm and 10mm combination wrenches. I got a needle nose with a combination cutter on there. Got a set of pliers of some sort. Get the glove box off, and many of the other factory fasteners, you're going to need a T30 and a T25 Torex. This is a combination screwdriver. There's also a flat blade screwdriver that we used. To drill the hole in the horn bracket right here, you're going to have to drill a new hole, and we'll show how to do that. I have a 1/4 inch drill bit, and I also have an 1/8 inch drill bit for a pilot hole. All right, so we're going to jump into this project here. First of all, you got to get the glove box out of the way. You can watch our latest video, which is installing a USB jack on this similar scooter, or you can watch the installation video on the MI200 PR, which is the European light kit. That's quite a popular option that we sell for the Primavera and Sprint. All right, on the front, we're going to remove the horn cover. First of all, you pop this badge off. Using a flat blade screwdriver, and just very carefully press in there and pry it off. You can see the tab right there. It's a single T30 Torex screw underneath. Catch a screw, and down comes the grill, and it pulls right out. And you can see the tabs that engage with the frame. And underneath this cover, you have access to the old horn, and if you ever need to change the voltage regulator, it's right there. All right, with the 8mm socket, we're going to remove the old horn. It's a single screw from the top, and it threads right into the old horn. The last couple turns. So there's a single screw, you could save that. And there's two quick connections to the horn. Just wiggle them, pull them straight off. The 136 horn just barely fits in the front nose of the Sprint and Primavera. What you need to do is take a 10mm wrench and loosen the single nut that holds this bracket that's part of the horn. And you can see I already marked a hole right there, approximately where I want to drill a new hole, because this mounting tab is too long to work with the stock mounting location of the horn. And I've had some people say, oh, well, let me mount it without the bracket at all. The problem with that is the horn doesn't sound right unless it's suspended by this spring metal bracket. From the left of the scooter, you can slip the horn in there, and you can see it's very close right there. You want it just far enough away where it doesn't touch the bodywork of the scooter. If the horn is touching the bodywork of the scooter, it kind of has an odd quacking kind of noise. And I'm going to drill the hole, a little bit off from where I originally marked it. You got a little bit of give considering you got two locations to tighten and work it, but I'm going to drill a hole right there, right where I marked it here. So unthread the single nut that holds the bracket to the horn. Something to keep in mind, it's actually a pair of brackets there that are sandwiched together. I'm going to keep them sandwiched together and go ahead and bolt them in a vise. If you're going to drill this without a vise, you could pretty much set them on a piece of wood You could put a screw right through here to hold it in place, but something to hold it in place. You know, you don't want to try to hold it with your hands because the drill might catch and spin the bracket around. I'm going to start with an 1/8 inch pilot bit. And next I'll chuck up a 1/4 inch bit. Hopefully this one's a little sharper than that 1/8 inch bit I was using. We have the pre-prepared relay and wiring for the horn. That works perfect with the Sprint and Primavera. Before you install the horn, you can go ahead and plug the wires right into the horn. One thing to keep in mind, this is an electromagnetic horn. There's no polarity, so it could be either one. So I went ahead and plugged those two in. I kind of bend them down a little bit because they're pretty close to the frame. So when mounting the horn, I used the original screw that held the original disc style horn and just popped it up from the bottom of the bracket. I'm going to put 3 washers, and the more you isolate the horn from the frame, the better it's going to sound. And it takes a little bit of finesse in there. I have my finger holding the screw in place while I'll temporarily tighten the nut up. The black ground wire that connects to the horn has a single ring terminal, and we can conveniently ground it right at the lower regulator bracket right here. So I'll pull the single screw out from the regulator, feed it through the eyelet, and go ahead and tighten that. So here you got the relay that's already pre-wired to the wires that go to the horn and to the new fuse holder that we're going to install. You have 3 remaining terminals on the bottom of the relay. You got these 2 outside ones. There's no polarity. That's the coil that actuates the horn relay. So here's the existing horn wire connections, and we'll go ahead and connect those to the outer 2 terminals of the relay. The center terminal can be left alone. That's a normally closed terminal that's not used in this application. So we have the relay wired. I have the 10 amp fuse in there. The 10 amp fuse can be conveniently tied to this red with black stripe wire at the voltage regulator. And if you want, you can reach in there and depress the tab on the front of the voltage regulator connection and pull the connection straight out. And it's quite a tight connection. You see, you have the 3 wires that come from the stator plate that generates the power. You have this positive that goes directly to the battery and is protected via a 20 amp fuse. Then you have a ground. So this is a convenient source to connect, to tap the power for a new fuse circuit right here. All right, the simplest means to connect to this positive wire to tap to our new fuse holder is this Scotch-Lot style connector. It's got a steel metal piece that straddles the wire and makes a connection to the copper conductor inside the insulation. They're not the best solution, but they're certainly pretty easy and convenient for an ideal setup like this. I wouldn't use them for anything critical, but a horn is such an intermittent load that they work perfect for an application like this. If you live in a moist, environment where the moisture is a little high, it may be worth putting some dielectric grease in there. This is that white silicone grease. It can be purchased at any auto parts store. You can fill the cavities up with the grease before you install this. You see there's a slot right there, and it will straddle the wire. So it pretty much goes right over the wire. And if you're having any difficulty, it will open up a little bit. It's kind of like a clam right there. So that straddles the wire right there. We're going to go ahead and stick the single wire from the fuse holder in the other well. And again, I have some of that dielectric grease in there, and that helps prevent corrosion of the wiring. So take care, you go ahead and squeeze it with any type of pliers, and once that metal conductor thing is flush with the plastic body, it means it made a secure connection. And then you close this little lid, and everything in there is quite tight. Go ahead and plug the regulator in. Now it's time to test the horn. Still have the relay hanging here. See that noise? The noise isn't all that nice. It's because we need to move the position of the horn. And I see it right from behind here. It's rubbing on the frame of the scooter. So we're gonna adjust the position to a good position where the horn makes a nice horn-like sound, I guess you say. So it's very important to have the horn where it's isolated from the scooter frame. If you have it touching the frame, I'm gonna move it where it touches the frame. It sounded okay there, but sometimes if it touches the frame, it will make an odd, it will sound like that. And you move the horn right to a position where it sounds nice and go ahead and tighten the hardware. Now if the horn sounds good, we're gonna go ahead and secure the relay. You can go as far as drilling a little hole somewhere and mounting it, but it's such a lightweight little device. You can just zip tie it to this wiring right here and it will be just as well. And it's important to keep the wiring out of this path of where the cables sweep. So we're gonna go ahead and zip tie the wires out of the way. And you can use the extra hole that's on the horn bracket. If you see it from the front, I'm just lightly zip tying it. And it kind of holds everything out of the way. So nothing's interfering with any of your steering cables or anything else when we put the glove box back on. Now go ahead and cut the tails of the zip ties. And we'll go ahead and put the horn cover on and the glove box back on. And you're done with the horn. So it's all installed, everything works. Check the operation of all your other lights before you go ahead and button up the horn cover and the glove box. So go ahead and slide the horn cover up, single screw, pretty simple there. Glove box is a little bit more technical. Like I said, watch the video of the USB jack. That's our best video of the glove box removal and installation. This is Robot here. I hope you enjoyed that video. Nice, easy, short, quick install. It's pretty inexpensive and adds a lot of safety, excitement, whatever you wanted to call it. Everybody likes honking. Follow us on Instagram, Vespa Motorsport. If you have any scooter adventure photos you want to post to our Instagram feed, hashtag Vespa everywhere. Signing out. See you next time.